Hello and welcome everyone. Today's video features a preview of the Tier 9 Italian battleship Giuseppe Verdi. The Giuseppe Verdi has entered testing and I must add is still a work in progress and subject to change throughout the testing process. This Giuseppe Verdi battleship project was developed in Italy by the Ansaldo firm in the year 1936. The Giuseppe Verdi was developed and based on a variant using the Vittorio Venetto class as a starting point. Unlike most other Italian battleships, the Giuseppe Verdi has high explosive shells instead of semi-armor piercing and access to armor piercing shells. The Giuseppe Verdi's main battery consists of 9 406mm barrels in 3 triple mounted gun turrets and comes armed with formidable secondary armament that, like the Napoli, only fires semi-armor piercing rounds. The Giuseppe Verdi has an improved exhaust smoke generator which provides this ship with the opportunity to employ tactical maneuvers to either disengage from heavy enemy fire or reach a favourable position on the battlefield without being detected. Now this is just a brief summation of the Giuseppe Verdi, so let's take a closer look, starting with the consumables, the upgrades and captain skills. Starting with the consumables, let's look at the consumables first. Damage control party, repair party, long-lasting exhaust smoke generator with an action time of 80 seconds, choice between spotting aircraft and fighter, high explosive shells and armor piercing for the main battery, and this is the current set of upgrades I'm using. I am experimenting with a secondary build. Main armaments mod 1, damage control, secondary battery mod 1, steering gears, concealment system, and auxiliary armaments mod 2. Let's look at the captain skills. I'm using preventive maintenance, grease the gears, as I mentioned, a secondary build, long range secondary battery shells, adrenaline rush, manual secondary battery aiming, emergency repair for the extra heal, and fire prevention expert. So let's quickly look at the survivability before we go to the armor. 69,100 hit points, which is further reinforced by 5 repair parties, and a torpedo protection damage reduction of 27%. So moving to the armor, we can see here 32mm 4-end plating both lower and on the deck. Same for the stern, 32mm plating and aft-end deck plating. There is an additional strip here of 4-end armor belt plating, 130mm. The main armor belt is 320. There is a strip of 60mm, thin strip of 60mm, and the upper casemate is 70mm. The main deck armor is 55. Look at the turrets. Frontal plate of 410mm, side plating of 150, 220 on the top. There are 2 slope sections. The rear section of top plating is 190mm and the rear plate is 400. Let's take a quick look at the internal armor. You can see there is sloped elements of protection here The Warships is 300 millimeters. This is the barbette armor of 350. Lower Citadel Warship is 300, but you can see there is sloped armor protection here on the inside. Here at the stern seems less sloped. Again, 300 millimeters of Warship armor. One final note on the armor: the superstructure plating is 19 millimeters. Moving to the main battery, the Giuseppe Verdi gets 9 406mm guns in 3 triple mounted turrets, and with this secondary build the reload time is 30 seconds with a max dispersion of 253 meters at 19.1 kilometers max firing range. Both the armor piercing and high explosive shell velocity is 836 meters per second. The high explosive shells can inflict a max damage of 5700. They can penetrate 68 millimeters of armor with a 36% fire chance, and the armor piercing rounds can inflict a max damage of 13,050. Now if we very quickly go here and replace both this and this, you can see when we look back at the main battery, we can get the main battery reload time to 26.4 seconds and decrease the dispersion to 236 meters. But I am going to continue with a secondary build for the sake of this video. Before we go look at the secondaries, quickly replace those. So back to the secondaries. Giuseppe Verdi gets 24 90mm guns. These have a 2.7 second reload speed, firing semi-armor piercing shells. They can inflict a max damage of 2000 with a max firing range of 10.5 kilometers. They can penetrate 26 millimeters of armor and have a shell speed of 860 meters per second. Moving to the 152mm guns, 12 in total, 4 triple mounted turrets, 2 on each side. These have an 8.2 second reload time. They can pen 42 millimeters of armor. They can inflict a max damage of 3,850 and have a very fast shell speed of 950 meters per second. Moving to the AA defense, Giuseppe Verdi gets an AA rating of 77, starting with 16 sextuple 20mm guns, followed up with 10 twin mounted 37mm guns, and finally 12 twin mounted 90mm, the secondary battery that double up as AA mounts. These pump out a continuous average damage of 391, equally spread between short, mid and long range damage. Giuseppe Verdi can fire 8 black explosions that can inflict a max damage of 1606 and have a max firing range of 4.6 kilometers. Moving to the maneuverability, Giuseppe Verdi has a base speed of 32 knots. This can be increased using the Sierra Mike signal flag to 33.6. turning circle radius of 860 meters, rudder shift time of 12.8 seconds. Finally, we come to the Giuseppe Verdi's Concealment. Now I must add this concealment does not include the Captain Skill Concealment Expert. If you do train this, you can get this down to 13.2 kilometers. So this is the secondary build I'm using, has a concealment rating of 36, meaning you will be surface detected at 14.7 kilometers and by enemy aircraft at 11.7. So I hope you enjoyed this first look at the Tier 9 Italian battleship, Giuseppe Verdi. This is in the Italian port of Taranto. So I must remind you once again, this is a work in progress and subject to change throughout the testing process, but this is the current state of the Giuseppe Verdi. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you hope and think about this ship. And if you'd like to see some live gameplay, I stream on Twitch regularly. You can see the link here on screen. If you have any questions, feel free to come on over. I look forward to seeing you all. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.